watching our special coverage here from the Infosys campus in Bangalore. I had a chance to catch up with the chairman of Infosys, Kamath. He's back in the helm, and he believes Vishal Sikka has got the strategic vision right for Infosys to come back to being a bellwether for the sector. Let's take a look.
I think Mr. Murthy came in and he identified job number one as repair. I think he has repaired this organization to the extent anybody could do in a little over a year that he has had at the helm. And I think as any organization has to, gone through a succession change. And we have, I think, put in place the right person to take the company forward. I say this because two roles that one can play. One is play with the cards dealt, which is Infosys as it is, which is a great asset to play with. But I think in 8 weeks what Vishal has shown is there are things happening out there, and we need to be able to respond to opportunity. And I need to build a team to do that. I think that also is in place. So you are now given asset plus, I would say, the start of a team building process to take us into future opportunities. So you are now both the existing and the future as you go ahead.
How confident is the board feeling about the future opportunities that have been articulated by Vishal Sikka? And does the board have any questions about this focus shift, in a sense, because it is going to be a transformative change for the company, moving away from this cost arbitrage kind of model to a new services model that Vishal Sikka is talking about. What questions does the board have on that, and how confident do you feel about the new areas of opportunity?
I think it's probably not been read correctly. I don't think there is any shift away from current priorities. Those will continue. What I think Vishal is articulating is, in addition to those, and as shoulder to those, adjunct to those, there are a whole lot of opportunities which we were not in. And maybe we did not have the skill sets in. So we build those skill sets in and then serve our customers in those areas while remaining steadfast on what we were doing earlier. So it is this plus something more that is working on. And I think that's an excellent spot to be in.
So this plus, so the cards that you already have on the table, plus the cards that you add on to the table, on the basis of that, what is the kind of growth trajectory that you envisage? Vishal Sikka is talking about the turnaround, in a sense, taking at least another 2 years. Do you believe that by FY17 at least, or perhaps earlier, if things work out the way that you plan, that we could see Infosys getting back to the industry standard growth rates?
See, if Vishal Sikka, I've seen what he has done in the last 8 weeks. If that is an indication to go by, and if he has articulated the strategy for FY17, I would buy in entirely to that strategy, and that's exactly what the board would do and has done.
Capital allocation, and Mr. Sikka has said that he wants time till April to be able to come out very clearly in terms of what you intend to do this with the $5.4 billion that you're sitting on. But at a board level, the issue of buyback, has that now been addressed, dealt with, and what would you like to see happen with this capital, sir?
This is not an issue that has not been, attended to by the board over the past years. Every time the board has brought this issue up, and we've had executive management, some of whom are here, some of whom were not, or no longer here, at every time defending the need for funds, and the board has gone along with that. So the board always has an open mind on the cash that the company has. And in fact, the board has been asking questions about the cash, and that's what we would continue to do. As far as any suggestions from the shareholders, we will consider it as appropriate, and the board has been on its own doing it in any case. So
in the assessment of the board at this point in time, you believe that a buyback does not make sense, does not make strategic sense, and perhaps you could review that decision once Mr. Sikka comes back with what
as far as I know, the buyback request that was put up by some shareholders has been withdrawn. So as of now, not that that is the material way to look at it. The material way to look at it is what internally do you feel is the need for funds, and we will question and we will continue to question management on what is the need for funds, and we will, as Vishal has said, he will take a call by April. I think we need to give that much time, because we should remember this is an entity. This has its own legal life, and we need to understand in that context, what is that cash going to be put to? And board certainly is conscious of its responsibility, and will keep asking this question of the executive leadership.
What are the top 3 questions that you've asked Vishal Sikka on his strategy, sir?
I think several. There's not just 3.
For the lack of time, I'm asking you to articulate
for
the top
example,
3.
I would think that, let me put one top. Are there any structural changes that are needed to deliver on the strategy that you are articulating? To me, that is the core. Because if you do not have structural alignment to anything that you now articulate as vision going forward, that strategy could fall because of lack of support. So get that alignment right. And I think he's gotten that alignment right. A whole lot of trying to get his understanding of where he believes this business is going. And the board getting a buy-in into his vision that this is indeed where it is going, that there is a structural shift happening at a pace we never imagined before. And there are opportunities coming along with that. And what does it take, Infosys, given what it has on the plate, its strengths? What do we need to add to get that going? So this is what we've done. And observing how has he done on this front, in the sense that is it, I'm thinking about it, it is a start, give it 90 days. No, as I said, in 8 weeks, he has already started building the team. In 8 weeks, I think a structural assessment has been done and the process assessment has been done, and he is going to articulate that. So I would think he has worked at enormous speed. So these have been the questions that you have asked, and I'm seeing responses built in already.
Mm-hmm. In a sense, you're going to be the factor that provides some continuity, because the founder era is over. Mr. Murthy has declined the offer to stay on as Chairman Emeritus. So you're, in the sense, the old guard, so to speak. While we've all talked about the need for fresh energy as far as Infosys is concerned, fresh blood into Infosys, what will be the challenge for this team as they bridge the past and the future?
What I was struck by Vishal and Murthy when we first met, and when Vishal agreed to join as CEO, was not just the body chemistry, but the alignment in mind, in terms of how they look at this business and the opportunity in this business, and how should you approach it. I think that augured very well. And a deep buy-in on Vishal's part of the culture of this company, of what it stands for, and its ethos, as it were. So that, once that is there in an incoming CEO, a whole lot of other issues which could have been there are addressed. And I would think that there is, on that front, I have no doubt at all that he is of the same wavelength of Mr. Murthy and the base on which this company was built. So leveraging the rest of it is going to be easy. From
a shareholder's point of view, of course, great news on the bonus issue that you've announced. Was this something that the board initiated, or was this an idea that came from the management?
This is what the board initiated during today's discussion. As I said, the board applies its mind to a variety of issues. And this is what today morning we actually initiated. We asked for work to be done, and we said it had merit to be announced and proceeded with.
So what more can investors and shareholders expect? So you've done the bonus dividend, of course. You recently announced your dividend policy. Can we expect a further generosity as far as the dividend policy is concerned?
What the shareholders have a right to expect, and we have a duty to deliver on, is performance. To me, if performance is ensured and we grow at industry rates, and then margins which are better than industry, then I think the ability to reward shareholders is even better. And we should get into that position. And that is what we would be single-mindedly focused on.
So how soon do you believe you're going to be able to get there, sir?
Vishal Sikka has told you.
So, Mr. Kamath, if I were to ask you before I let you go, about the one big challenge that you see facing Vishal Sikka as he tries to put his turnaround strategy in place?
I think any CEO who is coming in new has to get the alignment of the organization to his vision. That is always a challenge. Having said that, what I've seen so far, he has gotten that alignment. But we will need to see how he builds on the alignment that he has got so far. And as I said, he's got a great asset to fly. He's got open runway. He started the flight, and we need to see how he flies.
Well, that was KV Kamath, and that wraps up our special here from the Infosys campus in Bangalore. Vishal Sikka is the man in charge, and he believes he is putting in place a differentiated strategy to make Infosys a leader in the IT sector once again. From all of us here on the team, goodbye and many thanks for watching.